Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ayanda, and on today's video we're going to be speaking about period shaming and period poverty.
58% of women admitted to feeling ashamed during that time of the month, and 42% said that they actually have experienced period shaming from family members and male friends.
From around 12 years old, most girls begin getting their periods. This is a big milestone in their lives which should invite community support and solidarity. For many cultures, this is the significance of the girl's entrance into womanhood. Many would believe that this would be the perfect opportunity for the older generation to begin having reproductive health talks with the younger generation, but this is not the case.
When I got my first period, I thought I was pregnant. Why? Because of lack of information. Nobody told me about it.
Instead of support, solidarity, and compassion, young girls are thrust into a world of shame and silence. There are a lot of myths that are associated with periods which the young girls themselves would need to account for. Myths such as that if you've begun your period, it means that you've let a boy touch you or that you're ready for marriage, which would lead to child marriages.
That no society has ever really viewed menstruation very positively.
Peggy, of course I can't go swimming. You know I've got the curse.
To add insult to injury, in some cultures and religions, when women and young girls are on their period, they are forced to isolate. They're not allowed to form part of some cultural and religious gatherings, are forced to remain in their homes, and are not allowed to touch some items within the home. This is what is referred to as period shaming. They believe that when one is on their period, they're dirty, are having bad luck, or are having a dark cloud hanging above them. This negative stigma around periods, plus the additional burden of period poverty, results in 1 in 10 girls missing about 10 to 20% of school every single year. This absenteeism from school usually results in the girls dropping out of school altogether. But what exactly is period poverty? This is the absence of a proper waste management, sanitary products, and water facilities which enable a safe and hygienic period. For most girls, access to clean running water is a luxury. Sanitary products are also a luxury. And the question of a proper waste management system is usually out of the question. This would result in the girls isolating themselves out of the shame of not being able to clean up after themselves.
Today, Tuvungaz has her period. She lets us film her morning routine. The water she uses, we can't help noticing, is brown. In this arid region of southern Madagascar, it only rains about twice a year. So even this dirty water is a lifeline for Tuvungaz, a mother of 3. Her village has no public water infrastructure, so local people built the reservoir to collect rainwater themselves. Before that, Tuvungaz used to have to walk for 3 hours to find water in a neighboring village.
Poverty, unemployment, miseducation, negative stigmas, myths, plus the misfortune of living in areas without proper sanitary facilities results in the period experience being totally humiliating and extra painful for these girls. At this point, you may be wondering what it is that we can do. Because period shaming is mostly influenced by myths and miseducation, the best we can do is to spread proper information about periods.
Just call it a period.
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 Just call it a period. Periods are normal. Society is strange. It's bloody natural. Let's take a pledge to end period shame.
I was first taught about periods when I was in 5th grade, which was when I was around 11 years old. And when we were taught about periods, actually my teacher kicked out the boys out of the class, and it was the most exciting time ever. It felt like we were having our own secret meeting, and I remember even laughing and whispering with my friends on the way home after school, just being so excited to be privileged with this information. And knowing that the conversation was also not heard in my home, I felt so grown. I remember even looking at my elders and thinking, they don't know that I'm so grown. I know everything about blood and babies and and all of that. But at the time, I obviously didn't know that me knowing this and the boys not knowing what I know would result in them just having these crazy beliefs about my body and about what happens to my body and what I represent when I'm on my period. So at this point I do wish that the boys had also been taught about periods, and I think it would also do us justice to have the conversation at a broader spectrum. broader spectrum. I don't know what's happening to my tongue. You're gonna have to bear with me. We are gonna need to speak to young girls and young boys. We're gonna speak to the men and the women. Every single person, their grandmas and the grandfathers, every single person must form part of this conversation. I do not see a way of debunking the myths and the miseducation if we're picking and choosing who gets privilege to the information about periods. It's not a secret. Periods exist, and I think the best that we can do at this point is just to speak about them and speak very loudly.
Our bodies have a lot of things that we excrete, right? Whether it's earwax or, like blowing our nose, whatever, but we don't judge it the same way. You're just not going to lose social standing because of your earwax, but if you are leaking places or not managing your period the way whatever social mores are for it, then there is retribution about that.
With regards to period poverty, for the most part, we can all play our part to ensure that we eradicate period poverty. But there would also need to be the admission that our leaders and the government would need to do more. Ensure that there's access to water, not just any water. The water must be clean. In schools, the sanitary facilities in schools must exist and must be healthy and must be hygienic to allow the girls to be able to do what they need to do. Make sure that there's soaps in the schools, there's running water, and the toilets are clean and hygienic so that there's no infections and the girls are not forced to stay home because the school environment is just not safe enough. And to a certain extent, we all can do more. When we can, in our respective corners, we can try to do our best to just support every single girl, or just the girls that we have access to in the best way that we can. I'm filming this at 1 a.m. I'm so sleepy and hungry, and I hope I'm not rambling, but that was just my piece. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, share this video with your friends. Let's have this conversation in a broader spectrum. If you can, please let me know about your period experience. How was it? Which kind of support do you wish you had, or which kind of support do you think you have? I remember feeling very lonely when I first got my period, and I'm wondering how you guys may have felt. Please share with us in the comments. And yes, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Annyeong.